One of the questions I get asked most, you lived in America, you completed university. Why did you leave America to come to Europe or even Poland? Today I'll be sharing a little bit about myself, my journeys, where I've been, where I've lived, how and why I ended up in Europe, why I didn't end up living in a more traditional place for like Jamaicans, for example, America or England. I was born and raised in Jamaica, lived there for 18 years. I have four sisters, which I am the youngest and the only boy in the family. However, I have two brothers on my father's side. High school. So my first high school was Glenmuir High School. While there, I played the Costa Cup, which I won in 2012. The following year, the infamous coach, Patrick Jackie Walters, he decided to leave Glenmuir and go to Clarendon College, which I followed him, even though I received a lot of negative backlash for that. I also became a champion in the Costa Cup. It was 2014. We won the Costa Cup versus St. Elizabeth Technical. Upon my final season in high school, after winning the Costa Cup, I received many scholarship offers from universities in America. I received probably like 10 different offers. But my dream school was to go to Oregon State. Upon all these scholarship offers that I received, I did my research to check which school was ranked highest in terms of football. And thus I chose the University of Kentucky. So I received a full scholarship to attend the University of Kentucky. So I left Jamaica at 18 years old, and moved to the United States to complete my studies. And upon my first year at the University of Kentucky, we won the Conference USA Championship, and I was voted as, all freshman first team. So the following year, I was expecting even better things, but things just changed and I fell out with the coach and I decided to quit and that I would transfer to a different school. I had a few options in mind because while I was in Jamaica, I received many offers, so I still had some form of contact with those schools. And at that time, I wanted to go to the University of Central Florida because they were one of the schools who offered me a scholarship while I was still in Jamaica. So in the year 2017, I transferred to the University of Hartford, which is located in Connecticut, out of fear of having to go through the same situation like I did at the University of Kentucky. I decided to go to the University of Hartford because University of Hartford was one of the first schools to recruit me, and at that time they had a few Jamaicans there. University of Hartford wasn't as highly ranked as the University of Kentucky, which made it a bit more difficult in terms of being seen, getting an opportunity to go into the MLS draft and possibly playing in the MLS. So in my last semester at the University of Hartford in 2019, I took a break from school and I went on trial in Finland to play in the Veikkausliiga, which is the highest league in Finland. I lived there for a short period. But when I arrived in Finland, it was a bit too late and they ended up signing a player. Returned to America at the University of Hartford, where I finished my college degree. I think that I'm even more grateful that I didn't end up getting signed in Finland, because if I did, then I wouldn't be able to finish my college degree and have that plan B, I just thought God blessed me with the opportunity to not be signed so that I could finish my college degree. I returned to college and I graduated in 2019 of May. I graduated with honors, Upon graduating, I moved to New York to stay with my aunt. She wanted me to stay in America and work with her and work and make some money. But at that time, I had a dream, My dream was to pursue football. So I decided I'm not going to stay in America, but I'll return to Jamaica for a year and play professionally there and see what happens, At that time, I had an agent who was based in England, and he said, no, come on, just play 1 year in Jamaica and then you go to Finland. So I went back, was playing professionally in Jamaica. It started off well, but as time gradually progressed, I got a bit like overwhelmed and annoyed. Probably like 6 months or 7 months into playing, COVID came. And I was like, shit, COVID. And then while COVID was going on, I was still training by myself because I was supposed to return to Finland, yeah? But it was difficult because I couldn't get an opportunity to get a visa and stuff. So I decided to go back to America. And I just decided that I would just quit soccer and just focus on my future. So while I went back to America to live with my girlfriend at the time, I was playing football for fun in Connecticut with this team called Polonia Falcons, which is basically a Polish team. The coach asked me if I would like to go to Poland. And I was like, oh yes, there's brilliant idea, brilliant opportunity for me to chase my dreams. I moved to Poland, and I think in the first 3 months, my girlfriend and we broke up. So at that point, I felt like there was no point in me going back to America, even though I have family in America. My sister lives there, my mom lives there, but it just wasn't something that I wanted because I just felt like I needed to get away. So I stayed in Poland and I lived in Poland for 3 years, playing professionally, and also I was a teacher. Then my second year, I moved to a city called Radom, where I met my Polish family, yeah? So they're basically Polish American. And ironically enough, the father of that family, he went to the University of Hartford as well. I was basically part of the family, yeah? So I taught English to kids, adults, even older people. And I think that experience was a good one for me because I learned to adapt to a completely different culture. I learned the language, of course. And at that time, my Polish had really improved to a level where my employers were like really impressed because it's rare to find a native speaker who speaks Polish because Polish is one of the hardest languages in the world. While in Poland, I was stuck there for like 3 years because I had to wait on the government to give me like a residence permit. So basically it's like a green card for Americans, yeah? At that time I had met my now wife, which was my girlfriend at that time. She's fully Polish, but she was born in Iceland and raised there, yeah? The long distance thing, and she would have to travel to Poland every month or 2 months, and it was like, bruh. So we decided I would just move to Iceland. Our parents as well decided I should move to Iceland. So that's how I moved to Iceland. For me, I always wanted something different than what the traditional culture of Jamaicans, because traditionally Jamaicans go to England or America. I don't know, I feel more alive here in Europe. So I think these things are the main reasons why I chose to live in Europe.